learning the difference between leadership and management is a really important lesson to learn. And, leadership is about creating an environment where everybody performs at their best and you're seeking out of people their absolute best. Management is getting into the detail and doing part of the job and the solution yourself. And it's a difficult one to cross over from management to leadership, because when you've been working so hard in a business, to then almost step out of that daily grind can be a difficult one. You can have personal issues in thinking, oh gosh, am I not working hard enough now? But it's just different sort of work with a lot more responsibility. But yeah, I think that lesson, learning the difference between management and leadership. Aspiring retail leaders, I think there is absolutely a need to have data-based decisions, so analytics and understanding what the real situation is, but you have to develop an instinct as well, and you can't always have a report there to back up whatever you think is the best course of action. So you need to develop an instinct, and I would strongly recommend the way to develop that is to walk a shop floor. If I'm having a bad day or I'm just really struggling to think of a solution to something, it's like, that's it. I grab my bag, I hop in the car and I just go walk a shop floor, and it just brings it all back into perspective, because it reminds you actually what you're there to do in the first place. So yeah, walk a shop floor. So I think the 4 things you really need to do are be fair and consistently fair to people. You need to cultivate an environment where people can make some mistakes. So, it's okay to make a mistake. Try not to make that same mistake again, and make sure you recover from it very quickly. But create that sort of environment. I think being available to people, so making sure you're available, that if people need to come and ask your advice on something, then they don't feel afraid to do that. And the final one would be about empowering people. I think that's one of the biggest differences I've seen in successful leaders and leaders that haven't been so successful. It's the way they empower their teams. And that kind of links into the culture of being able to make a mistake. If you're empowering people, then they know that that's okay, and they'll keep working to do a good job. So. I think all of us retailers would probably say similar sort of things, but I think multi-channel is probably the biggest thing that's going to impact retail. It's not just about getting people to shop online. It's about what investment do we need to make in that online sort of space. How does online link into our retail space, our bricks and mortar space? So click and collect. How do you get people ordering online from inside the store as an extended aisle sort of offering? And then also, what does online and multi-channel mean to our future investment in bricks and mortar? And how do we make sure we're not over-investing in that space if people shift to different channels of purchasing? So.